I never imagined that my own parents would draw a line so boldly between me and my brother, but life has a way of showing you truths you didn't want to see. Growing up, my brother Mark was always the golden child. He was the firstborn, the responsible one, the one who followed in my father's footsteps. I, on the other hand, was the creative type, always dreaming, always building something that didn't make sense to them. My parents never outright hated me, but their favoritism toward Mark was impossible to ignore. When we both got married, things only got worse. Mark's wife, Claire, quickly became the daughter my mother always wanted. She was traditional, polite, and knew how to charm people. My wife, Emily, on the other hand, was independent and strong-willed. She spoke her mind and never bowed down to anyone, especially not my mother. For years, I ignored the subtle digs and unfair treatment. I thought, as long as my kids are loved, I can swallow my pride. But I was wrong. One Thanksgiving, the truth finally spilled out. We were all sitting in the living room when my mom, in her usual dramatic fashion, started praising Mark's children. "They're so polite, so smart, so much like their father," she gushed. Then, with a laugh, she added, "Of course, we love them more than your kids. They're the ones who carry our legacy." The room went silent. My daughter squeezed my hand under the table. My son looked down at his plate. My blood boiled. I confronted her right there. "Excuse me, you love Mark's kids more." She didn't even flinch. "Well, yes. It's not a secret. Mark's children are special. Yours, well, Emily doesn't raise them the way we approve." I stood up. "So you're telling me, in front of everyone, that my children are less than his?" My dad, instead of defending me, added fuel to the fire. "Don't overreact. It's just the truth." That was the last straw. A week later, I got a call from my mom. "We've decided this year that Thanksgiving is just for family. You and your kids don't need to come. It will be less awkward that way." They had banned my kids from Thanksgiving. I was furious, but instead of shouting or begging, I decided to plan my revenge. See, I had spent years quietly building my own life. I wasn't flashy like Mark, but I was successful in my own way. I had invested smartly, started a business that grew, and most importantly, built deep friendships with people outside the family. So, I came up with an idea. I would host my own Thanksgiving. I invited everyone my parents had excluded over the years, cousins they didn't like, distant relatives they ignored, even neighbors who had no family nearby. I made sure it was big, loud, and joyful. Emily and I went all out: turkey, ham, pies, decorations, games for the kids. And here's the kicker. I posted everything on social media. Photos of dozens of smiling faces, kids laughing, tables filled with food. I captioned it, "Grateful for the real family who loves us for who we are." Sometimes family isn't blood, it's the people who choose to stand by you. The post exploded. Relatives started calling me, asking why they weren't invited to my parents' Thanksgiving. When I told them the truth, that my kids were banned, they were horrified. Slowly, word spread through the family. Mark's children's pictures were nowhere to be seen online that year, because their Thanksgiving was quiet and awkward. Meanwhile, mine looked like the gathering of the century. My parents called me, furious. "How dare you make us look bad in front of the family?" I didn't hold back. "You banned my kids. You told me you love Mark's children more. Don't act like I embarrassed you. You did that yourselves." They tried to guilt-trip me, but for the first time in my life, I didn't bend. I told them, "Until you apologize to my kids and treat them as equals, don't expect us at your house again." It's been 3 years since that Thanksgiving. They never apologized. They still dote on Mark's kids, but now, fewer and fewer relatives attend their events. Everyone prefers my house, where the door is open to all. And my kids, they're thriving. They know their worth, and they know that sometimes, blood relatives can betray you, but love and respect create a stronger family than favoritism ever could. In the end, my parents lost more than they thought possible. And I gained something far greater, a chosen family who truly values me and my children.